KZN Education MEC, Kwazi Mshengu, will visit 2 schools in Pinetown this morning. Mshengu's visit is part of a drive to ensure that schools are adequately prepared for the new school year ahead. The MEC has promised that all 147 schools that were damaged by storms will have temporary classrooms for the start of the new term. ENC's Mawande Keswa is up and about in parts of KwaZulu-Natal this morning, following the story for us as the schools reopen there. Mawande, a very good morning to you. I see that you are going to be speaking to the Deputy Minister of Basic Education here very soon. But just before you do that, your sense, you've spoken to a number of officials, including the KZN MEC. Is KZN really ready for the school year? I mean, we saw those terrible tornadoes and storms towards the end of the year.
That would be the case on the ground. I have spoken to the MEC, who has assured us that all those schools that were affected by severe weather over the December period and throughout the year have been provided with temporary classrooms. We did make a trip last week to Mshengu, where we visited 2 of those schools that were affected, and indeed temporary classrooms were being built or erected in that area. There were 15 schools in that area alone, and all of them were taken care of. So I also understand that the PEC is out and about visiting about 60 schools just to make sure that everything is ready and going as planned. The MEC did also allude to the fact that there was one incident that caused disruption, if I'm not mistaken, in the Pietermaritzburg area, where there was a protest. So as things stand, that was the only reported incident, and it seems as though everything is going according to plan. But to give us a broader outlook and a broader sense, a national picture, as well as what has been flagged in the key areas that are going to be a focus, I'm going to speak to the Basic Education Deputy Minister, Dr. Makhabu Mhaule, who joins us this morning. We thank you for your time. Could you please just tell us more about your visit here today?
Good morning to you and the viewers at home. We decided to visit the KZN province due to what was reportedly the storm-affected schools and in the area. But generally, we came to the department to get a report. And the report that we got from the department is very positive, that schools are running. And we came here to this Haven Park school today to just confirm what we received from the Department of Education in the province, and find that things are running. And on the first day of the schooling, there's learning and teaching taking place. And teachers are ready, learners are ready, parents are ready. On our way to this school, we visited some schools, passed by, looking at the children going to school ready, showing that indeed they are ready. So even the reports, we did go yesterday to visit some of the areas that were affected by the storm. We found that indeed what the MEC reported, that they procured mobile classrooms to address the problem, has been done, which means in all the 149 schools, today there is learning and teaching taking place with maybe proper, very few challenges that might erupt.
So from a national outlook, what is the department prioritizing as far as addressing some of the challenges that persisted over the past year?
The challenges that we face, especially on the opening day of the beginning of the year, remember there's an influx of people coming from rural areas to cities and towns. And the schools in towns are they only feed the number of learners that are residing there. But if you can look, many towns have grown significantly, and the number of schools are not equal to the number of people that are residing there. That's why in cities and towns we have long waiting lists, and we have so many of those challenges. Today, even the reports we receive from other provinces is that they are addressing the waiting lists, and they had meetings with principals of schools in cities that let them take their learners. They will be provided with mobile classrooms as a temporary measure, as well as the increase in the number of teachers that will be that must be in those schools. This is what we are doing now, because we know the problem is the people are chasing after the economic viability of the area. In the rural areas, the economy is not moving. So people are going to cities and they go with their children. And there are these fast-growing cities, where the mining cities where mining is taking place, and people will want to go and move and live there. And that causes a problem, because when we say we address issues of infrastructure as a department, you build schools in the rural areas, and people are moving from the rural areas, leaving the schools now to be a bit of white elephants or having more classrooms and less learners. And when you still plan to build in towns, already the population has grown ×3, which is our problem as far as infrastructure is concerned. So, but we are addressing that. We are working with the municipalities that let them bring forth those areas which they want to develop and where they want to settle people, that we plan ahead. Then when the people come, the school is ready. That's what we are doing. But currently, it's still a challenge, because people come first, then the planning after, which is a problem.
In closing, we were speaking about issues where communities burn or vandalize schools, the very same schools that need to serve the communities. How can we begin to deal with those issues? Just recently, there was a school also that was burnt, and those issues also persisted when there are protests. How do we begin to address that?
We are calling to all South Africans that really, when we need a road, let's not burn a school. Let's not burn a clinic. Because the clinic we already have, what we don't have is a road. All the doors are opened for people to air their frustrations and challenges. And it's a tendency in our country that when it is a Women's Month, you find that a woman has been killed. And all these other months which were not a Woman Month, no woman was killed. But immediately it is said it's a Women's Month, then a woman is killed. Today is the first day of schooling. How do you ban a school? Just people they want attention. We are not saying people must not protest. Let's protest responsibly, because we have a responsibility to teach the nation. We have a responsibility to teach our children. Let's allow them an opportunity to be at school than what other people are doing. We are calling upon all of them that please, let's not protest to school. Let's allow our children to go to school, and then let them have the chance, which we also had as citizens. But we call upon SGPs that they guard the schools who are going to work with SAPS and the security cluster to make sure that our schools are protected.
We thank you for your time, the Deputy Minister for Basic Education, Dr. Makgabo Mhaule.